Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I am Renuka and today we will do some kind of interesting stuff. How you can add the stitching element in your journaling pages and how they should look incorporate together, how to choose color combination, how to choose techniques, as well as I will give you full details that which kind of stitches you use and how to use them. So don't make sure to see the blog post also, because there you will get all the details. So let's jump into the process. I will show you different process and different ways to incorporate your stitching in your journal pages. Okay, so it might be two ways: that your journal pages are loose like this one and you didn't stitch them yet, or you already have a ongoing journal which you have the pages like this one. There is one fabric also, so I intentionally put that fabric so that I can show you how to put the fabric as well as how to use that in your stuff. So various kind of things we can do. Just like I made this handmade stamp and I put it on this very coarser kind of fabric. It's very thick, it's a cotton. I can use this also, and what I can do is I can just put here to enhance the look, and then I can add the borders. But what extra I can add here is I can just add little bit of golden dots here, maybe the French knots, and I can add more white or green also, or I can add the another tactile element on it like this. Okay, and then I can stitch on this. So something like that. So let's jump into the stuff. So first way to using the fabric and the stitch materials in your thing is by adding directly them to this, right? So if I want to add this one and if I want to add this one, you can make a paper and collage of these. You can use the paper as well as these are felt ones, but you can make a collage. So basically you are adding everything on each other, and then you can directly stitch or you can glue them. So if you really want to stitch this kind of stuff, it's become a little bit harder, then you need a owl, this tool, to pierce through it and go through so that your needle go through nicely, because this is the watercolor paper and this is a little bit harder in the case. Okay, so this is one technique where we can make a collage. We can put one on each other. Another one is like here, fabric on fabric. So I already have a fabric, but I want to put something else on it. Maybe I want to put this another fabric lace on it. So I can just put this like this, and I can create a belly band, something like that. Here I can stitch that, and then I can put my tag or any kind of element in there. So it is kind of tactile element. Whenever you touch it, it will come out like nice sensation to your hand. And then I made these ornaments. So these are pretty simple stitch, running stitch, blanket stitch. I made the flowers. And what you can do for particularly this one is you can just, because if you have these kind of journals and you already made the journal and you don't want to sew, you can do a simple stitch here, running stitch, but other stitch will take to so much time. Or what you can do, you can take your fabric, then you can add little bit of other stuff and you can just hand stitch them. Okay, you can just hand stitch them with the running stitch like this, but it become more difficult and difficult. Blanket stitch will be easy on this, but it will become more difficult when you do the stitching on already bind album. So what I suggest is you do it beforehand, or if you want to do it afterhand, make it full cluster there and then just stick it. So these are few pages with me which I want to show the idea. So these are, I just put some colors and basically I wiped the colors, and then I thought I need to put more colors in this, so I put more colors in that. and it's tentatively the same size of my journaling page. I know, right? Now I know it is the same size of whatever signature I'm making. So I'm gonna fold it in half just to get the dimensions. And then this one is one stitch square with the felt. Okay, I didn't stitch it here fully. You can see I have these marks goes on, and then I can put here, and I can hand stitch this all around it, and then I can put one of the stuff here, and then I can use it like putting a tag or bookmark here. But here I want to put these stuff, so I'll show you. So first I will give you the idea, and maybe in other videos I will show you how to use them. So I can add more. So it is like my flower vase. I can make a flower vase shape also, and then whenever I needed something, it's in my journal, so I can just put it out and stick there to make a stuff. Like if I had to make this tag beautiful, I can just take this and I can just add that, and I can put it back again here. So that is kind of creating a pocket or a vase where you can put these florals. Another thing is like this. You can take another fabric. Okay, this is again the same kind of cloth. You can take another fabric, and then you can put here. So I create this one. This is kind of special one, so I can stitch this before hand. I'm not stitching, I'm just showing you how you can do it. So first stitch this around, and then you can put it here, and then you can machine sew it or other. So you can put the fun things in here. You can do direct tag here, or you can put the journaling card. Anything will do. So first one is first one we do the layered collage one. Second one, I give the idea of adding only simple dots, like maybe the golden color dots on this one. Another one, you can use the blanket stitch on the outside. Now if you don't know all this stitch, I will show you that also. Another is adding a direct element on this directly by stapling them. So you are just adding another element directly there. And other is these two ones, where in one pocket you can add the journaling card, another one you can add the this simple plain waterfalls kind of stuff. So first of all, if you want to do this, I'll show you how to do it. I'm gonna just make it single layered so that I will not stitch in between two layers. I know where is the position. I take my position. After that, I'll add the pins. You can add the blasting stitch also. If you don't know what is blasting stitch, these are the temporary stitches using running stitch, where you can temporarily adhere your projects together, and then afterwards you can connect them. So you have to stitch everything properly before it's going. Now I want this one here before, so I need to stitch this first. Okay, so I need to stitch this first. I can take yellow. Again, I'm taking the embroidery floss here. You can use any thread like silver, metallic, whatever you like. It's totally fine. Now there are many ways to do this. I can just simply do the beautiful design all around it and then go all around it. So that technique is called framing. Means like if there is some kind of object, you can frame them. The same technique we can do, like here we can stamp or put this one, and on this if we have a really beautiful focal image, maybe like this, so I can stitch around it, or I can stitch around the frames like state to create the framing concept. You can add the interactive elements like the buttons or the, so I will start from this side, okay, and then I will show you the blanket stitch in this. Now when I done with my position, I don't put these pins because sometimes they give hassle passel. Now remember, this one is little bit thick and I'm doing a small project, not much big project, so I am able to handle it. But if you are doing really intricate embroidery and your paper is not, your cloth is not thick enough, one thing you can add the backing to it by the fusible with stick to it and give it little bit of more dimensions like this, right? And then you will get more dimension and you can do your work. This what I already done on the channel, and here I painted first everything and then I do the simple stitching here. And I can add this one also. I made the same block printing on this. I used the wooden stamp, so I can put this also inside to match the stuff. So now we are talking about the blanket stitch, so I'm just going down, taking the thread and then just going inside it, so it is creating this stitch. This stitch is also useful if you want to do all over this, like I'll show. Now already, if you don't watch before video that how you can travel with all this stuff, you can watch that also, and you can take your small elements all around it. So if I want to do the blanket stitch all around it, first of all I'm gonna just make a knot, and if these knots are coming out, it looks nice. So you can see this side is really thick, so I can directly use this. I don't need any hoop to take. Now one, I go back, then I go on the same line here, and then I'm going through this, the loop, whatever loop we make. Okay, so you'll get this kind of stuff. And in next also you do the same. You will go back, again go up, and then now in this stitch, what you can do, you can add the other beads here. Like when I'm going back here, you can add one bead. You can go really closer also, but remember this is only fabric, so it will take a little bit clumsiness and it will not go that far. If you're thinking like you want more sturdiness, another idea here is you can attach the washi tape, and washi tape will give little bit of thickness to it, and then it will not that flimsy. But what happen when you put the washi tape, there are pros and cons. You can, when you put through your needle in the washi tape, it will just act that glue, and sometimes it's a little bit harder to come out, but still it's a good idea if you are having trouble with having like this going. Or what you can do, you can just add any kind of lace to make it more thick. Like before adding this, I can put this with the blasting stitch, and then on it I can do that. Okay, so there is the thing here. Now whenever you come to end here, you can make it close, or you can just add more elements, like maybe some beads hanging there, you know, some kind of tactile elements you can add. I will just skip that part for now, but I will show you few more ideas that how you can. So here you can add few with the help of the pen. You can add few charms here. Okay, so you can add those charms or button here on this side, and that will also look very awesome, super fine. And then for these I can just tuck this here, you know, and it will like it can move like this, right? Here you see the blanket stitch, the same stitch we started here. Okay, So I'll show only one more time, and then we will shift to the other. Now running stitch is the simplest stitch which we only use to make or attach the stuff together. Like for this side, you're gonna put it aside. I really want some vibrancy like this, and I want to attach this one. Let's take these are the simple felt pieces, nothing fancy. You can cut from these kind of softer sheets also. So let's see which color gonna pop on this. I think blue gonna work for us. Let's see if we have blue. Yes, I have blue. Okay, so on this we can add one element with these, or we can add a cluster like this one. So we can create double triple pocket there like this one. So I can cut it, and then we need to sew only this and this, so that we have one pocket here and one pocket here. Don't use your fabric scissors to cut any of the. Okay, I'm gonna cut it. So these are my fabric scissors. These are different, and these are most of my paper scissors. Because if you use the fabric scissors for the paper scissors, they're gonna blend. But it's totally depend on you. Like if you don't have that many sets, you can just put one for everything. That will also work. Now here, this is the stuff. Now I want to stitch this here, so I can hold it in my hand and do the stuff nicely. Otherwise what happen, we can do a different decorative stitch here also. So we're gonna start from this side. First of all, I'm gonna put the pins like this. Why I'm using this pin? This is not working at all. Let's see the another one. Okay, so now I secured. Okay, this one is here. Then I will start from the other side. I will just make a knot. I'll make a nice knot. You can hang a bead here, so that on this side also you will get you can see. Now remember, if I'm doing this fabric on fabric, it will take me a little bit more time. Then I need to use the hoop. Hoop is the thing which we put the fabrics in. Let me show you. So these are the hoops. Then I have to put my fabric inside to make it more sturdy if I'm doing fabric on fabric like this, because this is very thin. Two cloths are very thin, but as I'm using the felt, it is having little bit of thickness. I'm just ditching that. And these are the simple techniques. Like your job should be more nice. So if I want to do just a simple stitch, running stitch, I will just go backward, back and forth, nothing fancy, like this. Okay, if your fabric get more, if you don't have thumbnail, or like you can use to push the fabric, you can just use your mat. Okay, so this is the running stitch, nothing fancy. Choosing the stitch for the right fabric and the right time, it should be more important. If you're stitching it simple, it become a mindful stitching, and then you go with the flow and it come like slow stitching kind of experience. If you choose more intricate stitch patterns, it gonna take more intention to do it properly, as well as it took more energy and more things. So it's totally depend on how much and how you want to do that day. Okay, now I'm gonna finish this full here. Now whenever you come to end here, you can make it close, or you can just add more elements like maybe some beads hanging there, you know, some kind of tactile elements you can add. I will just skip that part for now, but I will show you few more ideas that how you can. So here you can add few, with the help of the pen you can add few charms here. Okay, so you can add those charms or button here on this side, and that will also look very, very awesome, super fine. And then for these I can just tuck this here, you know, and it will like it can move like this, right? Here you see the blanket stitch, the same stitch we started here. Okay, so I'll show only one more time, and then we will shift to the other. Now running stitch is the simplest stitch which we only use to make or attach the stuff together. Like for this side, I'm gonna put it aside. I really want some vibrancy like this, and I want to attach this one. Let's take these are the simple felt pieces, nothing fancy. You can cut from these kind of softer sheets also. So let's see which color gonna pop on this. I think blue gonna work for us. Let's see if we have blue. Yes, I have blue. Okay, so on this we can add one element with these, or we can add the cluster like this one. So we can create double triple pocket there like this one. So I can cut it, and then we need to sew only this and this, so that we have one pocket here and one pocket here. Don't use your fabric scissors to cut any of the. Okay, I'm gonna cut it. So these are my fabric scissors, these are different, and these are most of my paper scissors. Because if you use the fabric scissors for the paper scissors, they're gonna blend, but it's totally depend on you. Like if you don't have that many sets, you can just put one for everything, that will also work. Now here, this is the stuff. Now I want to stitch this here, so I can hold it in my hand and do the stuff nicely. Otherwise what happen, we can do a different decorative stitch here also. So we're gonna start from this side. First of all, I'm gonna put the pins like this. Why I'm using this pin? This is not working at all. Let's see the another one. Okay, so now I secured. Okay, this one is here. Then I will start from the other side. I will just make a knot. I'll make a nice knot. You can hang a bead here, so that on this side also you will get the, you can see. Now remember, if I'm doing this fabric on fabric, it will take me a little bit more time. Then I need to use the hoop. Hoop is the thing which we put the fabrics in. Let me show you. So these are the hoops. Then I have to put my fabric inside to make it more sturdy if I'm doing fabric on fabric like this, because this is very thin. Two cloths are very thin, but as I'm using the felt, it is having little bit of thickness. I'm just ditching that, and these are the simple techniques. Like your job should be more nice. So if I want to do just a simple stitch, running stitch, I will just go backward back and forth, nothing fancy, like this. Okay, if your fabric get more, if you don't have thumbnail, or like you can use to push the fabric, you can just use your mat. Okay, so this is the running stitch, nothing fancy. Choosing the stitch for the right fabric and the right time, it should be more important. If you're stitching it simple, it become a mindful stitching, and then you go with the flow and it come like slow stitching kind of experience. If you choose more intricate stitch patterns, it gonna take more intention to do it properly, as well as it took more energy and more things. So it's totally depend on how much and how you want to do that day. Okay, now I'm gonna finish this full here. After stitching, if you pull some fabric, make it flat and nice. And now on the other side you can see this stitching also. So here also we are creating a focal point, and I can go back to secure the thing here. So now fun part is that you can use this stitching you did for one, you just done for one thing, but you can see it on both the sides, and that is the fun part of it. You can see. Then we are planning to add these ones, right? These ones. And we have one more trim here. Now I can attach this trim here like this, and then I can just sew on this both the side. That will also look very nice and fancy. I'm going to use the same thread. Before that, there is one more stitch which I love to show you. So when you do the running stitch, you can go around it and create something beautiful. We'll use this orange because we already have the orange. Okay, and this time I will just go little bit, not much. So this will not this you can't see on the back side. I'm just weaving this, so I will go first from this. Okay, and sometimes it's not going, then do it from the needle side, because it's a felt, that's why. If it's a fabric, it will go easily, but that is the trick of doing it if you don't want to, you know, stuck in between. You can see we are just going back and forth, and we are just adding another color to that simple stitch here. Most of the times this stitch got used when we are making the stems, so we took the two colors of stem, like maybe sap green and hooker's green or dark green, so that they'll go together, something like that. Okay, so now you can see it's look more beautiful. So simple things you have to just try and see how you can do. And if you do the embroidery, proper embroidery with the hook, it's gonna see on the both the sides. So be aware of that you should not make it so clumsy, or you should not choose the intricate patterns that should not look nice. Like this one, this flower petal is looking nice on this side, but if you see this side, this will, if you do very neatly, this will look one of these, but if your thread got tangled or something, then it will not. Like this one, it's just looking a half moon. On this side, it's full. So you have to see what you're doing on the other side also, because these are the book pages. You don't want to cover them on the back side. You want to see on both the sides. If you are covering them, that's a different story. But I think giving tactile elements on both the sides is fun. And now this side, you see, you can't see the orange. So if you want to do the same thing on this side, we have to take the orange, but we will do something else on that side. Now for particularly this one, we can go from here to here, and I'm making in a kind of a triangle shape slanting line, and then I'll go again from here to here, and I again make a slanting line. Okay, now you have to make sure that the fabric should not pull much, otherwise we will not able to achieve the looks we want. So after pulling it, make it straight and flat. Then again sometimes I just hang this thread just like that. I didn't cut them just because now it's not enough, so I'm gonna just put it just like that. Maybe I can add something else afterwards, but now you can do this on both the sides and you will get a pocket to put your tag or put your journaling card, something like that. Okay, on this side we already put this, so let's attach this one. Okay, so we want to put this. I'll start with, I think, we are just creating a belly band here. I just want to put this little bit of color there with this lace. Look, people say that it's a junk journal, people will say it's a handmade journal, people will say, but most of the times it's look beautiful just because of the colors and other things. Sometimes you need that coordination also of the colors. Use whatever you have. If I say, then it will turn out really nice, but all the creators should know that it will not that color coordinated, so it will not that much eye pleasing. But when you use your color palette properly, and when you match the things properly or contrast the color theory, use your color theory, then thing is different. Okay, so it's not always that use whatever you have and you will get the best results. Sometimes you can achieve it, but sometimes it's hard to achieve. Whenever creator said that, you can see that his or her color palette is already set. Means if I'm already working in the shades of brown, okay, so whatever leftover pieces I have, they must be brown, okay, or tinge or shades of brown. Then when I'll do the job, it's gonna look nice, but that will not, same thing will not happen with you, because you may have the different colors and you thought, okay, creator told me that, okay, that tutorial tell that, okay, you can have whatever you want, but still you have to find the color coordination, still you have to find the theme or a palette which looks good together, then only that gonna look together. If you are working with the limited color palette, it's really easy to achieve that, because then whatever leftovers you have, that gonna match with the your other palette. Now here again you can add the tactile element like one bead or something. I will skip that part, I will not add, but you can add, that is the thing. And then I gonna sew on this side also. I can fold it to make it more neater and cleaner. If you don't want, if you like the rough edges, you can have the rough edges. It's totally your book, so you can do whatever you want. Okay, so now we learn how to make a pocket, how to make a thread pocket, how to make a belly band in it, and I'm gonna just keep this aside. So now particularly this one, I don't want to stitch from this to this portion, so I will start from this side. And you can do any fancy stitch, you can do running stitch, you can wrap around stitch, blanket stitch, it's totally depend. Just remember that if you want to do more intricate patterns, you want to do something, then you have to put the whole stuff in the loop, otherwise it will not, something is going wrong, otherwise it will not come there. Okay, so here I gonna just stitch from this to this to this. Okay, before that I can put the blasting pins also, so that it will not move and become wonky. if you put little bit of starch, or this is like a acrylic paint, then what happen, it's become little bit more thicker by its own nature with the acrylic paints. So if you are doing that, and you know, I like these kind of stuff when they hang all around, it's look nice and you can see the pop of colors. I already made this tag, I have this with me. I just want to show you that how they're gonna look after we do all the stuff. And for inside also, I'm gonna put these few butterflies I have, I can put those inside. So if I want to use those while working in the journal, I can use that. So it's kind of a double pocket. And if you feel that your double pocket is like things are falling down, it's not that fit properly, then you can add a small little pin here, or you can add small little, I'll show you, clip here. And whenever you want to use, you can just remove it. Like here, if I'm feeling that it's not staying properly, so I can just add this pen here. So it will act like a holding for the stuff, as well as the fun part will not fall all over. Now I'm just securing this one, and I love to have little bit bigger thread. It's add more fun. As I told you, you can add the other stuff to it. So now what I can do is, I'll just make it half, not much. So it will give little bit sturdiness to the thing, and then I can add all those little flimsy elements here, which we can use afterwards. Or you can add a tag also, as we did before. So there are so many ways you can do the stuff, or you can put all of these stuff inside and then you can add it again. Now let's see the back side of it. Here, if I complete this one, we'll get that. Now here, there is one more thing we can do, is the fabric cluster. So how fabric clusters we can make, I'll show you. So okay, this is the one fabric. I can just tear apart. Again, I'm just tearing apart. Now here I like those fringes whichever is coming out there, and then what else we can add here? Now we can add here a slow stitching stuff also. Like I can just cut it in a circle, or I can take one of the part and do the applique kind of stuff. We can do that also. Or you can see what else you have. I think I can add little bit of this felt also if I want, or something like that. Maybe we can add little bit of yellow also. It's a very turmeric yellow color. It's really nice poppy color. You can add these kind of elements where the flowers are there. I can add just only these 3 flowers. Now you see our elements are there. We can add these on. I'm gonna put this up aside a little bit. We can add all this on a paper also. Oh, it looks really nice if I add it on this full paper. It's having so much character. Okay, so now you can sew it, and if you don't have time, you can just staple it. like nothing fancy. You can just go ahead and staple it. First of all, I have to make it, this paper is very folding, so I will just kind of giving little bit sturdiness to it. Okay, and then I will just cut little bit and see how it's gonna look all together. I think I like the darker portion better. Now you can stitch on this and make different beautiful stitches, and then you can just staple whole thing with the stapler on it. I think I should make another video for that. So I'll see you in the next video where we will do this cluster. And until that, you can use all these techniques to make some stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. So until then, have a crafty life. Bye bye, take care.